I saw a rainbow over here, and I felt that that was a rainbow of hope that they would find this child all right.
Abducted child rescued from the woods. She was found chained to a tree. Tonight, she's smiling in the hospital.
Where news comes first. This is WECT News at 6. Streaming live on WECT.com and the WECT News app.
Happening right now, a search for more answers. Law enforcement stops motorists at a checkpoint not far from where 6-year-old Stephanie Lopez Castro was abducted and found chained to a tree. WECT's Bailey Hicks is live tonight at one of those checkpoints along Antoinette Drive in Wilmington. Bailey, what are they looking for?
Well, Fran, quite simply, they're looking for more answers. Yes, Douglas Edwards, the suspect, is in custody, but police and officers are hoping that somebody driving through here knows something. That's why they are stopping every single car that passes here along Antoinette Drive and asking drivers if they saw something or if they remembered seeing anything. The idea being, of course, that the abduction took place at exactly 24 hours ago, and so they're hoping that drivers who are passing through the area would have been passing through yesterday and may have seen something. Of course, I'm less than a mile from where investigators say Edwards picked the 6-year-old girl up on his moped and took her from her home in the Royal Palms community. I'm also only a few miles from the wooded area where crews found her chained to a tree. No word yet on how long this checkpoint is going to be up. Also, no word yet on when Stephanie is going to be able to come home from the hospital. I actually just came from her neighborhood and spoke to a lot of family and friends who told me that they were very excited to have finally be given the okay to head to the hospital to go see her. They brought her some stuffed animals, they brought the family food, and they tell me they're all just thanking God that she's alive. Fran.
Thanks, Bailey. We've been following this story since the little girl was abducted last night, and a lot has developed throughout the day. Tonight, the girl is recovering in the hospital, and we're told she's doing well. And we are learning more about the suspect in her kidnapping, Douglas Edwards. WECT's Susanna Black continues our team coverage. Susanna, what else do we know about him?
Well, Fran, Douglas Edwards is a registered sex offender. He was convicted of sexual offense and indecent liberties with a 6-year-old 20 years ago. Today, he's charged with kidnapping along with other charges. The New Hanover County Sheriff's Office says Edwards took 6-year-old Stephanie Lopez Castro out of her yard last night, and they found her in a wooded area off River Road this morning, chained to a tree. Sheriff Ed McMahon held back tears in a press conference today and said the child was found thanks to the teamwork of several local, state, and federal agencies. District Attorney Ben David echoed those comments and said finding her was just the first step in a very long process.
We're going to use every resource at our disposal to make sure that we get to the truth of what happened and present it to this community in a courtroom. So this is just the start, it's not the end. It's the end of finding her, but it's the start of a criminal process.
Earlier today, detectives took Edwards in handcuffs back to where they found the girl in the woods. He is expected to make his first court appearance tomorrow around 11 a.m. Fran.
Thanks, Susanna. A new picture just into the newsroom shows a smiling Stephanie doing better after her ordeal. Her family and friends visit her tonight in the hospital while others wait to welcome her home. WECT's Chelsea Donovan was at the family's home today where they say their prayers have been answered. Chelsea?
That's right, Fran. The family was full of joy this afternoon as they gathered together looking at pictures and preparing a welcome home party where they hope to embrace a little girl who has experienced so much. Cheers of jubilation from those who know 6-year-old Stephanie Lopez Castro best.
Everybody happy when she's coming, and I hope she's okay.
Birthday banners still hang in the home where Stephanie celebrated her 6th birthday just a couple of days ago. Melvin Kular is Stephanie's godfather, one of many family members that rely on faith and prayers in hopes of Stephanie's safe return.
Now he's very happy. Thanks God, everything is coming to normal.
But the Royal Palms community has been far from normal over the past 24 hours, a community that John Riggs has managed for more than 28 years.
She's one of ours. This is a tight community.
A community in which Riggs plays an active role. He knows almost all of the residents and enjoys planning festivities and holiday gatherings.
Every year I play Santa Claus. I go in there in my office and they come in there. They bring them in there and they take their picture with me.
And it's pictures like this one that family members will truly cherish now that Stephanie is home. She's a young girl who has a love for soccer, a contagious laugh, an infectious smile, and the rest of her life ahead of her.
We feel very happy. Ooh, everybody feels very happy. That's why a lot of people outside waiting for her.
And neighbors tell me they've seen a moped similar to the accused abductors driving around the area in the past few days. And that has them concerned because Stephanie is one of 75 other children that use the neighborhood's bus stop that sits directly behind her home. Fran?
All right, thanks, Chelsea. And of course, we will continue to follow any new developments in this case. Murder charges from a suspected drug overdose. Aquan Richardson, a suspected drug dealer, is charged tonight in the death of Joshua McBride. Warrants show McBride died from a heroin overdose in May. Richardson faces a long list of drug-related charges. He's also accused of trying to sell heroin to a Wilmington Police Department confidential source. The district attorney's office said this is the first time in nearly 2 decades a suspected drug dealer has been charged with murder following an overdose. An arrest in a case of online clown threats against schools. Authorities in Bladen County charged 16-year-old Savon Jones with making a false report of mass violence on educational property. Deputies tell us he created a false Facebook profile that showed photographs of clowns and threatening violence at East Bladen High School. If convicted, Jones faces a maximum of 10 years in prison. Yesterday, 2 juveniles were charged for making similar threats in Columbus County. A man makes the most out of rain. He uses a brush to fix barrels.
You're watching WECT News at 6.
Rain is on the way, but there's one man who makes the most of it. He uses rain barrels, but puts his own spin on them. WECT's Tess Bargeber spoke with him today. Tess, why did he decide to paint them?
Fran, Skip picked up a brush to solve a simple problem. Rain barrels just aren't easy on the eyes. And now that he's come up with a solution, people are definitely taking notice. In a word, Skip Schlitzkes is colorful.
I'm just an old hippie and I believe in helping this earth out.
It's a philosophy that gave him a simple idea.
And one day I'm watching all this water fall off of my roof going nowhere, and I said, I can be catching this clean water.
He got a rain barrel.
Next thing I know, my plants are smiling, my vegetables are better.
But wasn't happy with the way it looked.
Painting a rain barrel in the rain, there's nothing better.
He painted his, and people took notice. He went to Craft Hardware store where the owner kept a single, plain barrel in stock.
He goes, I've had that thing for 2 years and I've never sold one.
So Skip got to work.
When I'm painting, I don't stop.
And loaded them up. Since then,
I have trouble keeping them supplied.
Skip uses the water, doing what he loves, gardening, and of course, cleaning his brushes.
We don't have any industry around here polluting the air. Clean.
When he's not surrounded by the plants that he paints, you can find Skip at Wrightsville Beach.
And the more kids come up from the beach that are playing and having fun, and it's a memory of this place that they can carry forever.
He even donates over 10 barrels a year. Why?
That's the way you're supposed to be here.
Me this note from a family he met while painting. They told him how thankful they were and just that meeting him made their day. But they didn't know his name, so they just addressed it to the Rain Barrel Dude. Fran.
All right, thanks so much, Tess. They take care of fires in your neighborhood, but now they need to get rid of something else inside their own station: mold. An air quality report shows suspected mold in Sunset Beach Fire Station number 2. The report advised the department to place a dehumidifier in the station, which they have done. A similar investigation revealed mold growing back in June.
And of course, we're continuing to track the latest on Julia. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Still a little bit unsettled for the next couple days, even into the weekend, at least the potential of some scattered showers and downpours. I'll have the complete first alert forecast next.
This is meteorologist Eric Davis with your first alert weather.
Well, as of the 5 p.m. advisory, Julia back as a tropical storm, but it is moving eastward at 8 miles per hour away from the Carolina coastline. And we actually think the threat of heavy rain diminishing now across southeastern North Carolina. You recall yesterday at this time a flood watch or flash flood watch was issued for southeastern North Carolina, or at least for New Hanover and Brunswick County, as there was some real concern that we could see several inches of rain. We think that threat is diminishing, though, pretty rapidly tonight. In fact, I think on average the rainfall totals in southern New Hanover County and portions of Brunswick County are probably going to be more on the order of about a ½ inch, maybe up to an inch from here, as there still will be an occasional passing downpour across the area. And rainfall totals even less as you move northward along the I-74, around the the 74-76 corridor, maybe on the order of a quarter to a ½ inch of rain. Again, these are probably maximum amounts the way things are looking right now. And I wouldn't be surprised once you get into northern portions of Bladen County or up towards Fayetteville I-95 corridor, very little rainfall expected to fall as we head to the next 24 to 48 hours. There certainly could be a few passing showers, but I don't think it is going to amount to much. Bottom line, threat of flooding is certainly diminishing at this point. So with that in mind, variably cloudy skies, still occasionally some showers rotating in off the coast, and a heavy downpour certainly can't be ruled out. But if you've got some outdoor plans this evening, by all means, go ahead. Just make sure you're packing that WECT weather app on your phone. 71 the overnight low. One thing you will notice, increasing northeasterly winds around 10 miles per hour. And those winds could be even stronger as we head into your Friday. Northeast 10 to 15 sustained tomorrow. 82 for the high. Still about a 40% chance of a passing shower or thunderstorm. And as we showed you, the closer you are to the coast, especially the farther south you are, the better chance you're going to have of actually seeing a shower or storm. Remember, Julia, once again, a tropical storm. Probably won't stay that way very long. Probably gets back to tropical depression status in short order. Another weather player, a frontal boundary, stalled out just to our north, also slightly enhancing the chance of showers and a few thunderstorms. And occasionally you can see as you get to your Friday morning, a couple of showers rotating back into the area. And that'll be the story throughout the day. Most of the day will be dry, but occasionally a passing shower will rotate in along the coast with this frontal boundary kind of enhancing the chance of rain just a little bit. Friday night, of course, we've got Friday night football tomorrow night. Passing shower not out of the question, a passing thunderstorm not out of the question, but most games I think are going to go off without a hitch tomorrow night. And Saturday, so that frontal boundary is still around. I think Julia is probably out of the picture by that point, but frontal boundary is still around, and we still expect some showers, particularly on Saturday afternoon, to rotate back in along the coast. And I think the running theme moving forward is going to be much of the time is going to be humid. Temperatures topping out in the 80s, but there will be enough humidity, enough moisture, and enough boundaries around that we occasionally are going to see a few showers and thunderstorms. How about this? Beautiful picture right now. Neuworth Motors HD camera in Southport. We're looking for Oliver's Restaurant out onto the Cape Fear River. Looks like maybe a building storm there in Southport, but a lot of blue skies at the same time. Beautiful picture right now in Southport. Of course, you can access our cameras, our First Alert, Neuworth Motors First Alert Skycam network anytime on our website, WECT.com. The center of Julia is spinning about 160 miles now to the south-southeast of Wilmington, close enough that a couple of showers will occasionally rotate back into the area. So here's our forecast, 82 for tomorrow. Still the chance of some showers, especially downpours from time to time. 82 your high on Saturday and Sunday. So certainly don't cancel your plans, but just keep in mind there are going to be some showers around, especially in the afternoon on both Saturday and Sunday. And that unsettled pattern continues into Monday and Tuesday. Highs in the 80s, still very humid with overnight lows in the 70s, but maybe some signs by the middle part of next week, Fran, that some drying out begins to occur. A drier air mass moves in here. Notice the rain chance drops, and those overnight lows drop a little bit as well by next Wednesday. All
right, don't forget this weekend, the 3rd annual North Carolina Rice Festival at Brunswick Riverwalk at Belleville, and it features live music, and they'll have all kinds of arts and crafts, and kids can play games. There will be beer and wine, food, and all kinds of things going on.
Don't cancel your plan. I think 85 to 90% of this weekend is going to be just fine, but just the occasional passing shower or thunderstorm to contend with.
All right, thanks so much, Eric. Tropical depression Julia throws rain across our region today. 17 years ago, a completely different category of storm caused millions in damage. We're approaching the anniversary of Hurricane Floyd hitting the coast. Many of you will remember that. This week's Throwback Thursday segment on First at 4 got us thinking. Floyd was the most powerful storm to hit the Carolinas. Surely, all these years later, people remember. We found the family profiled in our piece, and they're still a vital part of the Charlotte community. WECT's Bill Murray has more from Brunswick County and memories not easily forgotten.
We had refrigerators, washing machines, dishwashers, and all of them were floating.
Nothing like a flood to bring back a flood of memories. Jamie Milliken remembers it like it was yesterday, although it's been almost 2 decades.
I just felt so lost.
We showed the Millikens our Throwback Thursday piece, profiling their struggle after Hurricane Floyd. The pain still evident on faces all these years later.
I will never forget it. It means so much to me that friends are just better than money. I mean, when I see that, it just brings it all back.
That water, waist deep. Once it receded, the Millikens flooded with volunteers, strangers helping a family who's been there for generations.
If you give up, you're whipped to start with, so you got to keep pushing.
The Millikens did everything right. They thought they had a plan. They knew Floyd was coming and they knew it was going to be a soaker. But when it started overhead and the rain would not let up, well, then this river had a mind of its own. Their first thought? A leaky roof from so much rain. So they moved much of the inventory from the second floor down below. That turned out to be a costly mistake.
I had just encountered snakes. I knew that there were gators in the river. I couldn't hardly see. I was scared to death there was an alligator in here.
The power of the storm so severe, it brought down a church steeple. Homes wiped off the map. Ironically, the Milken home place wiped off the map too. 17 years later, hours before we showed up to reminisce, they found out their old home had burned to the ground. It's rental property now, but the street is named after their son. That's how long this family's been around.
It was unreal. It has been a great ride, and we've survived a fire and a flood, so, well, I guess the locusts come next.
The Millikens never missed a payroll, thanks to hard work and a small business loan. That was anything but small. It took $1 million loan to get them back on their feet. Hurricane Floyd may be long gone, but they think about that storm every single day. That loan, a 30-year note to pay back, which means 17 years down, 13 more to go. In the studio, Bill Murray, WECT News.
Teen Night expands to another court. Find out where the Police Activities League will now play. The state's largest insurance fine ever, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina had to pay $3.6 million. That's almost double the previous largest fine. State officials say it's part of a voluntary settlement agreement. The North Carolina Department of Insurance has gotten lots of customer complaints about Blue Cross. We're told the fine will not affect any premiums. The state gave out close to $70 million trying to keep you safe. The grant money will go towards the Governor's Crime Commission programs. In Bladen, Brunswick, and Columbus counties, $148,000 will provide an assistant district attorney. In New Hanover County, $65,000 will help reduce juvenile crime and gang involvement. In Wilmington, $86,000 will help court-involved and at-risk youth. More time to play instead of getting into trouble. The Wilmington Police Department and the Family YMCA join forces. They're expanding the Police Activities League Teen Night Hoops program. It will now also take place at the YMCA gym on Market Street. PAL Teen Night is held bi-weekly on Saturday nights from 7 to 11 p.m. Great program.
Great program
right there.
And the forecast looking a little bit better. I think there's still going to be some occasional showers, maybe some thunderstorms or downpours to contend with, especially tomorrow. 82 for your high. I think the closer you are to the coast, the better chance you'll have of encountering a downpour. Much of the day will be fine, but the humid air mass, the frontal boundary is still sticking around, so a little bit unsettled for the weekend. So occasional showers and thunderstorms passing by. Don't cancel your outdoor plans, though. That pattern probably continuing until about Monday and Tuesday, and then finally, it looks like a drier pattern beginning to move in by the middle part of next week. Some lower humidity as well.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks a lot for watching. We certainly hope to see you back here tonight at 11 o'clock.